jumped on the tour bus. It takes 45 minutes. So let's see what we can see from the bus. So he's walking around.
And as we approach it, we'll see that the top actually depicts a landmine with flames sprouting from its top. This is the town's cenotaph, or war memorial. It stands in the Prince Edward Square at the site of the concert circle erected for the 1864 National Eisteddfod. Eisteddfod is a cultural festival where musicians, singers, poets meet in a spirit of friendly rivalry to decide who's the best, and the members of the concert circle uphold the druidic traditions of the ancient bards and poets. Of the 700 hotels in Llandudno, the ones here on the seafront were the earliest to be built, the first of which is the St George's Hotel here on the right. It was opened in 1854 and incorporated Wales's first water-powered elevator, or lift. Famous guests over the years have included Sir Winston Churchill, Otto von Bismarck, Napoleon III, Benjamin Disraeli, and William Gladstone. As we've travelled along the seafront, have you noticed the lack of garish and bright facades of these hotels? That's because the owners are required to use the pastel coloured chart provided by the powerful Mostyn estate when choosing a colour for the outside of the buildings. Was once home to be came of our friend, the taxman. The headquarters of the government's Inland Revenue Department was based here during the Second World War in 1940. The Marine Hotel was home to Queen Elizabeth of Romania for 5 weeks in 1890 while she was here recuperating, and we'll hear more about her later in the tour. The large cream hotel coming up on our right was opened in 1860, but was taken over 2 years later by Dr. Henry Thomas, who used it as the Llandudno hydropathic establishment, hence the name Hydro. Dr. Thomas offered a treatment called the compressed air bath, and some of his medicines included belladonna, Spanish fly, and arsenic. On our right is the North Wales Theatre, Venue Cymru, opened in 1994 by His Royal Highness Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales. It has one of the largest stages in the UK and has seating for 1,500 people. A new conference centre completes the project on this site. visibility is good. You may see the many wind turbines out in the Irish Sea to your left. This is going to look with 160 turbines 10 miles offshore. It is Wales's largest wind farm with a capacity to generate 576 megawatts and power to 400,000 homes. And in the distance you can see the Little Ball. It is 141 meters high and a popular sightseeing, walking and hiking site. Just up ahead of us are the paddling pool and lifeboat station. The open space to the right is Bodavon Fields, home to Bodavon Farm Park. We are now arriving at stop number 2, Bodavon Farm Park. Please check with your brochure for the times of our buses. This is the part of town known as Craigdon. This is a mostly residential area developed at the turn of the 19th century. Notice the brick tin roofs rather than the older grey slate ones. The largest building in Craigdon is St Paul's Church. It was built at the beginning of the last century and is dedicated to the memory of the Duke of Clarence, son of Edward VII and Queen Alexandra, and grandson of Queen Victoria. Many suspected him of being none other than Jack the Ripper, the notorious Victorian murderer. If this is true, it seems rather strange to have his name associated with a church. The Duke of Clarence died in 1892 at the age of just 28. Ahead of us on our left is Queen's Park, named after Queen Victoria. However, one road down to the left is called Romania Drive, named after another queen, Elizabeth of Romania, who stayed here for several weeks in 1890. She was a noted author of romantic novels, and on a visit to the National Estate, she was honoured with acceptance into the Corset of the Bards under her pen name Carmen Silva. During her stay, she quickly grew to love the area and was always very complimentary about the standard of hospitality in Wales. Indeed, she was so fond of Wales, she actually learned some Welsh. When she left, she described Llandudno as a beautiful haven of peace. In Welsh, Par Hafal Lane, and it is very near, that's our town's motto. Through the trees ahead of us to our left, you may see a glimpse of an impressive stone building. Blind Veterans is a national charity that supports blind ex-servicemen and women towards living an independent life. The building was originally known as Lady Foresters, a convalescent home for the benefit of workers and their families from the iron industry based in Ironbridge in Shropshire. 17th century. Lady Augusta was a staunch supporter of a temperance movement, and as such, she despised the demon drink. Opposite the church, over to our right, once stood two public houses. Augusta did not want her church to be in such surroundings, so she had them demolished. Instead, she built firstly a cocoa house, and a little further on, a stone building with a clock, which was once a school. Cocoa houses were popular in the Victorian era, built as a way of showing the temperance need not necessarily deny the social activity offered by pubs and alcohol. In 1898, a new pub, the Links, was built in Llandudno to replace the ones demolished here.